Welcome back to Fit Survive channel. So I once again have the opportunity to show you the latest version, latest flashlight from Wuben. So this is their X4, which is the long-awaited addition to the X series. Now before I get into this, let me run through these real quick. If you haven't seen these before, you have the X0, a very unique flashlight there. Then they went for a beast with the X1. This thing is huge, super bright, literally has a built-in fan to keep it cool. Right, then they made the X2, which is basically a copy of the X1, just a bit more user-friendly size here. Then they have the brilliant X3. I really enjoyed reviewing this flashlight. It's a swiveling head, has a magnetic charging case. I mean, so much here. Be sure to go back and watch that if you haven't seen the X3 before. Right, then they made the X2 Pro, which naturally is an upgrade to the X2. Lots of really cool new features on the X2 Pro, very similar to the X4 and certain things about it, but nonetheless, the X4 has lots of really cool features that I want to show you as well. All right, so first of all, it is a medium-sized flashlight, has an aluminum body, weighs right around 140 grams, and so, I mean, kind of the medium size, not super lightweight, not super heavy. It has a max output of 1500 lumens, which is pretty nice for a flashlight of this size. Typically, you'll see a flashlight like this have about 1000 lumens, and so really cool, nice output there. I like the design of the flashlight. Again, very futuristic, not dull, not boring at all. I've said this hundreds of times. It's kind of boring. The typical tactical flashlight is just a black tube, right? The X series, I mean, they're all so unique, all so cool. And then the X4, of course, does not disappoint with its design. Just so much here they've added. Really makes it look futuristic. All right, so 1500 lumens here is the max output. And super bright. I will be taking this outside here in just a bit to show you how it looks outside in the dark. So anyways, it has stepless dimming. And so right here, you can just scroll this. So what that means is it doesn't have a low, high, medium, kind of thing. You have your turbo, 1500, and then you can basically just adjust it to whichever brightness you want after that. So really cool. If you do want instant turbo, you can double click it to get it right onto the turbo. So it also has a side light. Now, what I like about the side light, you can see here, is it has this diffuser on top of it. Now, what that does is it really helps spread the light out evenly. And so what I mean is, on the X2 Pro, with the side light, you had to adjust this up and down, depending on how you wanted it, where you wanted the light to be shining. Whereas with this diffuser on the front of this side light, let me turn this on and I'll show you. All right here. So when we set this down, let's say you want to illuminate your workspace, you can see the light literally goes right to the base of the flashlight. You don't have to adjust this up or down. Simply with that diffuser there, it really spreads the light out very well. So it has a max output here of 100 lumens all the way down to 1 lumen. So you can adjust that right, all the way down. So it's super dim if you need it. All right, then this also has an RGB setting. You press and hold this button down. You use your RGB, which means you can scroll through some different colors. If you want it, you can double click, let's on, let's say red, right? You can double click and it's going to just kind of flash that red light. And then when it's turned off, but in the same setting, if you double click, it creates like basically a police flash there. You can change that to red and yellow, red and green if you want, instead of the red and blue. So we have some different colors there as well. All right, so let's go ahead and go outside right now and I'll show you the brightness of this outside and I'll show you this side light as well. All right, so not quite exactly dark yet. You can see the 5 lumens. All right, we'll scroll up here. When it flashes, that's the max output, 1500 lumens. Scroll back down. All right, change it to the side light. All right, that's the brightest in the side light there. You can see 100 lumens, so it does really good in illuminating. And I'll go ahead and I'll show you the RGB as well. It's about 10 lumens or so, so not very bright. Kind of scroll through some of the colors here. All right, so I've showed this a couple of times, but the slide here, you can lock this out by sliding all the way down. Of course, that means the flashlight will not turn on. And then the next mode is your side light, right there. Right, that you have the main light. And you slide it all the way open, you can see it reveals your Type-C charging port, but that also is your dedicated low. And so kind of maybe your night setting, where if you don't want to blind yourself and you don't remember what your last setting was on the main setting here, This is a dedicated low, and so it's always going to be 5 lumens. You can't scroll it, you can't get any brighter, and so it's always on that low setting, which is really cool. Like I said, if you don't want to blind yourself at night, you can slide it all the way up, and you have your lowest setting. So this does have an IP68 waterproof rating, so they've done really well on that. Next thing that's really cool is they have, you can see right here, it's a little lockout. So you slide this down, push this button, and it reveals your battery. So this takes an 18650 battery, which is basically your standard for tactical flashlights. So the cool thing about that is you can bring some spares. Let's say you're out for a multiple day camping trip. You can bring some spares with you, and instead of having to charge this up, you can just pop it open, slide in a new battery, and you're back to 100%. I also like that design, how they open up the battery compartment. You don't have to worry about unscrewing it. You don't have the threads, the little rubber ring thing. This is just really simple and a very, I think, safe way of holding your battery. Then the next thing, on the X2 Pro, they made this accessory right here, which can be purchased separately and attaches right here onto this little rail, and it's basically a tactical button. But you got to admit, that's kind of an eyesore, not the most attractive addition there to that flashlight. So what they've done here on the X4, they have a very nice, very sleek button here. So on any setting other than the lockout, you can press this and it takes you right into your turbo. If you double click, it gets you a strobe. And then if it's on the dedicated low, you're still going to get the low. And so you don't get a turbo on low. It's still going to make sure you have that super low setting there. All right, so I really like that. I like that they have a dedicated tactical button there. So if you like holding your flashlight like this, and then turn it on, you're able to do that. For me personally, I typically hold my flashlight like this. And so, I mean, depending on how you like holding it, they've got buttons for either side. And so again, really cool. I'm glad that they added that to the X4. All right, so of course has the pocket clip on the back. We've come to expect pocket clips on all of our tactical flashlights, right? So I like the design they've done here. It's a nice and stiff pocket clip. All right, so that is basically it for the X4. So let me know what you think about this. Again, now they're just releasing this on Kickstarter. And so the first 200 people who basically pledge or, pay for this on Kickstarter, you're gonna get this for $40. After that, it's gonna go for $45, which again, in my opinion, that's a very competitive price. I mean, not expensive at all. Again, for a flashlight, it's just loaded with settings, super futuristic look to it. I mean, nothing boring about this flashlight. I think it's a great price. So anyways, let me know what you think about that. What you think about the price. And so I will have links down below. And so if you'd like to go check that out, you can go down that link. Let me know what you think about the entire X series family here. Which one's your favorite from the X0 all the way up to the X4? Let me know what you think. Now they do have these also in multiple colors. So you see they have like a gunmetal gray here as well. Now, of course, I'm really hoping for a white one. You can tell why. Be a perfect addition to my white series here. So anyways, again, let me know your thoughts, and thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video.